All right, in business news, an expert has shared more insight on the impact of continued upward trend of inflation on the Nigerian economy, according to international business project development consultant Dr. Emeka Okengu, while reacting to inflation figures which came up earlier today on Business Nigeria. He said there is need to scale up productivity to counter the rising inflation in the country. The latest figures from MBS shows that Nigeria's inflation rate hits 33.2% in March 2024.
In this instance, 33% looks high. We could do better than that. But when compared to countries, like China and America, that have their inflation rates at about 79, 80%, or even higher, you must start asking, what's the magic? The magic is that these countries, with high inflation rates and are still able to meet, what you might be able to call the basic principles and indices, of production, of development, is because they are productive. This is what might make our own situation look a little bit gloomy. However, you've asked, how does it impact on the masses? Again, another talking point, if you ask me, the use of the word masses means that we've not been able to build, that proper database that can be able to make masses citizens. And until you get that database where you are planning against definite numbers, that might also impact, on your planning process.
New ideas to grow the nation's capital market are being worked out by the Ministry of Industries, Trade and Investment. This development came up when the minister, Dr. Doris Uzoka-Anite, met with capital market stakeholders in Lagos. Efyongekop reports.
The Federal Ministry of Industries, Trade and Investment and the Nigerian Exchange Group initiate collaboration to enhance the flow of investments and trades. At a meeting with top management of the Nigerian Exchange Group and capital market stakeholders, the minister, Dr. Doris Uzoka-Anite, says her ministry will double efforts to improve the fortunes of quoted companies while encouraging small and medium-sized firms to list shares at the exchange.
We felt it was important to touch base with the stock exchange, to have a holistic view of the economy, and then also to seek more collaboration as we also drive more investments into the Nigerian economy. A number of these listed companies are also looking for capital raise, right issues, and different investment opportunities, which my ministry is also driving heavily. So this also provides us an opportunity to discuss ways that we can collaborate.
Chairman of the exchange, Dr. Umaru Kwaranga, told the minister that the stock market has recorded appreciable growth in the last 20 years, competing favorably with other international markets.
So I believe with the BUA of this world, the Dangote of this world, whatever are the challenges that they are facing, the Nigerian breweries and the rest, that will go a long way for you to have maybe packaged everything and see how you can be able to come in as a government so you can be able to support those private sectors. Because it's going to be a win-win at the end of the day.
The group CEO of the exchange, Mr. Temi Popola, he requested the minister to initiate strong policies and corporate actions hinting about market readiness to support Central Bank of Nigeria's directives on banks unresting their capital bases.
If it was from the lens of the exchange that you are in today, we are actually quite pleased and encouraged with the state of the capital markets. If that's a reflection of the economy, we're pleased with the level of innovation that we're starting to see. We are pleased with the level of just optimism that is around our own industry and our own sector. And frankly, our industry is doing the best that it's done easily over the past 2 decades or so.
Apart from select capital market reporters, representatives from big manufacturing firms like Dangote and BUA groups attended the meeting. Efyongekop, TVC News, Lagos.
The Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission has announced an increase in Nigeria's oil condensate reserves. The Chief Executive Officer of the Commission, who made the announcement in Abuja, declared Nigeria's total oil condensate reserves of 37.5 billion barrels, total gas reserve of 209.26 trillion cubic feet as the official national petroleum reserves position as of the 1st January 2024. Helena Samede King's reports.
The provisions of the Industry Petroleum Act gives the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission the power to declare the nation's oil and gas reserves. The Chief Executive Officer, while declaring the reserves along other officials of the Commission, highlighted that crude oil and condensate reserves stand at 31.56 billion barrels and 5.96 billion barrels respectively, amounting to a total of 37.50 billion barrels. Associated gas and non-associated gas reserves stand at 102.59 trillion cubic feet and 106.67 trillion cubic feet respectively, resulting in total gas reserves of 209.26 TCF. The reserves life index stood at 68.01 years and 97.99 years for oil and gas respectively.
So to show the level of hydrocarbon capacity the nation is endowed with as one of the leading producers of hydrocarbon resources in the continent, and that is why we kept, remember we said that Nigeria alone boasts of over 33% of the total national endowment in Africa in terms of the gas reserve, and is deemed, Nigeria is equally, now the second largest producer of crude in Africa.
The Commission also revealed that it has developed a template guiding the activities for domestic crude oil supply obligation in a bid to foster a seamless implementation of the DCSO and ensure consistent supply of crude oil to domestic refineries.
The template, in effect, attempted to resolve 10 issues. By implication, there were 10 major issues that needed to be resolved that is for seamless implementation of the provisions of the domestic crude oil supply obligation in the Act that was leading to the challenges that we experienced. That is the industry that made us to intervene, step in as a regulator to resolve the issue between the producers and the refiners.
The Commission says this move conforms with the policy of the current administration and the declaration of President Tinubu that Nigeria is ready for business.
The template includes legal framework, procedure for domestic crude oil requirement allocation, payment instruments, currency of payment, and logistic scheduling. Helen Osamede Kings, TVC News, Abuja.